World Behind is written and directed by Sam Esmail and is based on the book by Ruman Alam and stars Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, Mahala, if I'm pronouncing it right, Ferrera McKenzie, Charlie Evans, and Kevin Bacon, and tells the story of a family's getaway to a luxurious rental home takes an ominous turn when a cyber attack knocks out their devices and two strangers appear at their door. Hello, you beautiful movie lovers. My name is Louie, aka Movie Phantom, and today we are talking about Leave the World Behind, which is the most recent book adaptation, I guess. That was something. Okay, so admittedly, I heard about this movie back, I believe in, I want to say January or February of this year, when Netflix released their Save the Dates that they did last year, and they did the same this year, and I'm guessing they're just gonna do that forever. And I saw that, and I was very curious in it, and I was kind of excited for it. And then the trailer dropped, and I was really curious in it because I do like weird movies. I think it reminded me of A24 stuff, you know, like The Lighthouse, Hereditary, stuff like that. And I was really excited for it. Not mention it has Kevin Bacon, so you know, it has a bunch of other great actors in it also. And now after seeing it, I mean, it's not the weirdest of the year, that will always go to Beau is Afraid, let's say Beau is Afraid was a little bit realistic. Maybe not the best way to say, I don't know if I would describe it as Beau is Afraid, but, anyways, so, now that I have seen it, I'm gonna give you my thoughts. First off, I'm gonna tell you what I think this movie is kind of a comparison with it. This is if you mix in Ari Aster, Alfred Hitchcock, and 2001: A Space Odyssey. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But it has those kind of elements with it. This is kind of a horror movie, but it is mainly a thriller. And admittedly, the more horror elements with it are very realistic, with strange stuff you may see every day. You know, something like deers, well, even with that being kind of weird in here, and probably have in real life, I don't know, but, you know, it's something strange like that, and it really works with it. It can be very uncomfortable with it, particularly one near the end, involving, what we used to eat. You know what I mean, obviously. I mean, that's not hidden with it, but, I want to refrain from saying the word because of it, but anyways, it is very terrifying with those kind of moments, and it builds it up perfectly. It builds up stuff like that amazingly, like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. You know, stuff like Psycho with the infamous bathroom scene where it builds up suspense, and it just works with it. It just builds up on the suspense, wondering on, is this gonna get worse and worse? And it has that feeling of terror. It absolutely worked for me. It's not, like, the most horrifying movie, but it is very tense with it, and I did really like it. The cinematography itself also works with it, and I love the lighting for this movie. There's a bunch of scenes with it that are just weird, with the main one being in the beginning with a boat coming to a beach that you may have seen on the trailers, if you've seen the trailer for it, and all that, and it really works with it. It's really good. Though, admittedly, I don't know why people are running that slow with it, but still. You get moments like that, it's very terrifying, and I love it. It's weird, it feels like something like an A24 movie where you can't explain it, but mainly with the twist and the ending. I'll get to that later, no spoilers for it, obviously, but it does work with it. The acting itself is really great. Julia Roberts is really great in here, and she is kind of unlikable in the movie it's herself. Kevin Bacon, for the short time he gets near the end, really works with it, being in the movie's maybe most terrifying scene. Mahershala Ali, why can I not say his name right, also does a great job. Everyone does a great job, but the main standout for me is easily Ethan Hawke, who I get confused with Mads Mikkelsen, because I thought he was in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny that came out earlier this year, and then I realized, oh yeah, he was in Strange Way of Life, which I also get confused with them. I get confused with Mads Mikkelsen as Ethan Hawke. But anyways, right, yeah, that was Ethan Hawke, but yeah, sorry, it really does work with it. I loved his performance. I just loved his performance, particularly for the most terrifying scene in the movie for me. It really worked with it. I loved his performance in it, and I do hope he gets some recognition for it, even though most likely he won't, which sucks, which really does suck. The directing itself also fits with it. The atmosphere of the movie I really loved. I just loved that with it. The score itself, from what I remember, it kind of repeats the same notes a little bit, but even then, it does work with it. Also, I want to say, if you are a fan of Friends, this will definitely involve with it. You'll see what I mean when you watch it. Now, about that ending. To be exact, well, there are weird stuff in the movie, obviously, like the Tesla cars in the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but I did love that scene also. But with the twist itself, well, I did like it, and it really terrified me, particularly mainly because of its ending, and with how realistic it is, and how terrifying that can be. At the same time, it doesn't all work round in the end, but even then, I do think it's pretty good in and of itself. And while I do have some theories with the movie, particularly one, I don't really know what it's going for, but even then, I do love this movie, and maybe I'll love it even more on a rewatch. Overall, I'd highly recommend Leave the World Behind, and even with an over 2-hour runtime, it really does fit with it. While there are some problems with the movie with its script and ending, I did really enjoy this movie, and also Lil Yachty did a song for it that is kind of good, admittedly. And overall, I give Leave the World Behind an A-. So those are my thoughts on Leave the World Behind. What did you think about this movie? Did you love it, hate it? Let's agree, disagree down below in the comments. Come and tell me. My next review will probably be for that new Three Musketeers movie. That's a sequel for one that came out earlier this year. Maybe I'll review both, I don't know. And then I will finally get around to watching Godzilla Minus One. I am very excited to watch that. And then will probably be One Life, and I will probably review Boy and the Heron, and then Aquaman. That's my plan so far, as well as probably Ferrari and X will win soon. And then after that, I will release my end of the year lists, as well as my ranking at the beginning of 2024, which I cannot believe, obviously. But anyways, that is it for me, and as always, stay awesome.